Flan list. Ban list. Ban list. I haven't done one of these in a while. I guess we haven't had one of these in a while. Ban list react chat. Let's go. I ran to locals because I had some plans tonight that got canceled. So I got to play tonight. So we got some locals to chat about, which is fun. And we got ban list. And we can talk a little bit about what I think will be good for the deck going forward. Because I have lots of thoughts. My brain is very large. Snugs, good to see you. Jam, good to see you. We got a ban list. I feel pretty good about it. I'm a little worried. I don't know if this is correct, and I'll talk about what I think. But first, I think what we'll do is we'll go over the list. We'll talk about what I think it means, what the new decks will be, and then what going into the regional is going to be like. Because really, that's what I care about. That's what we're training for, after all. So I guess we can just get into it. I have to skip an ad on my own stream. Okay, interesting. Okay. Let's do the magic of OBS. Omega, be gone. Ban list. Here we go. So we're going to go in the order I saw it in, which is unlimited to banned. So first, for unlimits, we have Black Dragon Collapse Servant, Dark Greffer, Razen, Wyverburster, Drident, Change of Heart, Crystron Inclusion, Snatch Steel, and Stake Your Soul. So right away, Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, White Dragon Wyverbuster are cool cards. I don't think they'll do anything. But the most important thing here, for sure, is the Razen and the Stake Your Soul. Getting 4 more consistency cards for VS is huge. This deck is very scary. And my immediate thought when seeing this was, okay, something is gone. Something is harder to get to, so they think it's okay for you to search more. Inclusion is cool. I think Crystron is cool because I think budget decks are good for the game. I think they should be allowed and be good. Snatch Steel, Change of Heart don't matter. Change of Heart might matter, actually. That could be a cool side deck card, and I don't hate that, especially with really powerful negates like Umbral Soul. I wouldn't hate to see Change of Heart taking stuff like that. Just an example, not saying that'll happen. Drident is good for the people that care about that from 100 years ago. Greffer doesn't matter, but I feel pretty good about these unlimits. I'm a little personally worried about Stake Your Soul and Razen, just because I think VS is a really scary deck, but I'm not unhappy to see it. I think it's fair, but very strong. For our semied cards, or should I say semied card, we just have Droll. Droll to 2 is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. This should be at 0 or 3, I think. I don't know why this card is at 2. I don't see any purpose to that. It's a little sackier now. Good, I guess. It still kills the decks it kills. So I wish this was at 1. I really wish it was at 0, to be honest. And then if we had a rough format or 2 from it, then so be it, personally. I think there's no room for a card like Droll in a game designed the way Yu-Gi-Oh is, where you're meant to search constantly. Everyone's already said this, but wanted to say it myself. Onto our limited cards. It happened. Dracotail Malulu, Canine Jokul, Vanquish Soul Holly Sue, Yummy Snatchy, Habakiri, Case for Canine, Ketu. So we see 2 hits to Dracotail, the Malulu and the Ketu. The Ketu seems really big. I'm not 100% on the Malulu. That seems weird to me. I'm not a Dracotail player. I had heard things like limit Phimena. I could see that, but that does seem to kind of kill the deck, so I'm not saying they should have done that. I still think they should ban Droll and give it the Mulcharmy treatment. It's too strong behind a board. I don't know. I like what you're saying, like a different kind of Droll, a different kind of card that punishes incessant searching but doesn't stop you. I agree with that. I don't know if I wanted to draw cards or whatever, if I wanted to stop you from searching, but some other way to limit that kind of thing I think is okay, but it would have to be really carefully designed. Maybe something closer to a Nib than a Fulos, or somewhere in between those. We see some consistency hits for Canine in Jokul and Case. So pretty self-explanatory. We get to keep our turn 0 plays in Canine and in Dracotail because they get to keep Fimena and Izuna, obviously. I don't know that I wanted to see those cards go to 0 at all, but what's scary about this is Vanquish Soul Canine is still doing the same things. It's just a little less consistent on the Canine side. Yummy Snatchy to 1 seems huge. I know Triff is coping and he said this doesn't matter at all, but this seems really bad and like the deck will be in pretty big trouble after this. Habakiri for us, honestly, I predicted a few things. I thought maybe we'd see Prayers to 2 or 1. I thought maybe we'd see the Trap banned. I thought maybe we would see Habakiri banned. I know it's early, but I think that might happen eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if Habakiri were on a ban list in the Forbidden section at some point, although it might just get power crept. But no, Habakiri limit is interesting. It is still searchable, which means the decks that can search it are still going to be able to pair with Mitsurugi, but given that Kotefi is gone, that's much less likely. And onto our last section, our Forbidden cards. Herald, everyone knew this one was coming. There was nobody that thought Herald was going to survive, but we also have Barrier Statue of the Torrent, the water one, Malice White Binder, and Harpy's Featherstorm. 2 Floodgates should have been gone on the Floodgate ban list. Don't know why they made it this long. Good. Glad they're gone. Harpies was going to be a problem with Radiant Typhoon being popular. That was just going to be really awful. Herald is really good. This is making Yummy much weaker, obviously. So Snatch to 1 and Herald is huge for Yummy. And Yummy Mitsurugi has to more consistently just hard draw the combo since Habakiri is no longer searchable off that Herald. Malice White Binder seems funny to me. I don't personally run into Malice that often, but I believe that it's powerful. And if this kills it, I think I'm okay with that. If it makes it weaker / rogue tier, I would prefer that. Because I think the people that like Malice should be able to play it, but I don't think Malice should be a top deck because it's so toxic and so ignorant. But overall, I think it's a pretty good ban list. I think Yummy is in a pretty bad spot. I think Dracotail is fine. They got hit, and they're getting new consistency cards, so they're actually going to get even more consistent than they currently are, probably. I know the branded stuff plays well with them. I think VS Canine is very scary. I was listening to all the ban list reactions today, and I know Joshua Schmidt mentioned that turn 0 Holisu isn't even that common because it's so demanding for attributes. You just don't have that many good, fires and darks to play. And so it's just hard to facilitate. It's fire and earth, isn't it? Yummy got slimed banning Herald. Yeah, banning Herald was probably all it needed. I kind of agree with that, Jam. I think Habakiri to 1 makes sense because Mitsurugi is so strong. And we talked about a couple different ways it could have gotten hit. I think Habakiri to 1 is the one I prefer the most because you can make up for more searchers. You could play more Aramasa if you want to have more tribute targets for your prayers. You could play more of the other ritual monsters if you just want more ritual targets. Or you can play more Manju. There are ways around consistency. We can still tech in a few, although we are slowly losing access to our consistency cards. Yeah, VS lacks in good earths. That's another reason why Holisu is crazy for the deck. Oh, that makes sense, Dusk. Yeah, Holisu is the earth for a lot of them. So that said, the turn 0 Holisu isn't that likely. It's kind of hard to pull off. I think that VS K9 seems like a very, very scary deck once more. I think that deck is crazy ceiling-wise. And like we said, it didn't lose anything ceiling-wise. It's still doing the same things at full combo. It's just going to have a little harder time getting there. You're missing 1 to 2 Jokul. I don't know how many they ran, so it's even possible 0 to 2, I guess. Case is lower. Great ban list. This one feels more like a product seller than a format fixer. I'm starting to think that I'm okay with that. And I think it's for 2 reasons. One, I think this format is good and these decks are cool, so I'm okay with them. They all lived. I think Yummy is way worse, but I think it's still playable. I could be wrong on that, but I think there are people that are going to play it and that are going to still see success with it and have fun with it, which is good because decks should have a certain lifespan, I think. I think it'd be early for Yummy to straight up die. That'd be sad. But also, the point of ban lists is to sell product, but in gameplay, that's kind of nice because then you get to play against new stuff. You get to see new decks. And while that it's easy to be kind of cynical and be like, well, they're doing it just to sell product. It's playable with Tri-Brigade. Tri-Brigade's cool too. People really like Tri. But it's a company to make money. The game is a product. And so I don't personally see anything wrong with them making lists to sell things because, especially given we're still getting stuff like Barrier Statue and Featherstorm. Featherstorm they definitely could have kept because it plays well in Radiant Typhoon, right? Like that's an argument to be like, well, it should stay then for sales, but they got rid of it. It's not making them any money because it's reprinted, but you know what I mean? I think two things can be true. I think, yeah, it is to push the new stuff because the new stuff probably isn't good enough. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's not good enough to beat out the Josh decks / Mitsurugi. But no, I think this is a good ban list. I like this list. I enjoy it. I am a little sad Habakiri went to 1 just for consistency, but I appreciate that Habakiri is a crazy card that should probably be banned one day. I think Stake Your Soul Razen is really intimidating. I think that deck's going to be crazy, personally. I think K9 VS is going to be a really, really good. Draco Tail's kind of not scot-free, but Draco Tail really got off pretty easy, didn't it? So I think that's going to show, but I'm sure it's wrong, but I'm personally the most worried about VS K9 out of this ban list without considering new product. I think that deck's going to be crazy. Because it was crazy. I was really hoping for something like Ripper ban. I know that's unrealistic, but I think Ripper is a gross card. Kind of wish Borreload Savage was on this. Ugh, thank God Savage is not here. Dragon Tail will be the best deck. How much better will it be than VS K9 though? Like, isn't that a crazy deck? I don't know. I feel like that deck's insane. No, I do not want Savage back. I appreciate that it'd be cool for Dragon Link, but the problem is everybody else would also play it. And the less Omnis we have in the game, the more fun Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. I think that's just been proven by Snake Eyes format into Ryziel Malice and then into Jush. Like, the game is just more fun when things aren't just being said no to all the time. Which is kind of why I don't like the VSN board, the VS K9 board. It's a lot of, or I guess it's just the K9 board. Crystron kind of does it too, but a lot of negates. But that's the ban list. VS K9 is very powerful, but just think that detail does more. Yeah, that's definitely possible. So for a new list, we're going to be down to 1 Habakiri, and we do lose our 1 draw. We were playing 3, of course, because the card's busted. As far as deck building for the upcoming format, obviously the non-engine is tough because I'm not positive what the other decks look like, and that's a big part of how you pick your non-engine. But I think our deck is mostly unchanged. It'll just be format specific, but I don't see a world where we stop playing Fuelos, where we stop playing the Ash Blossom to counter the Fua, and also to be a very strong card versus stuff like the Draco Tail, like the Branded Fusion and the Rahu. They can keep playing from there, but stopping that big push and that power spell is really valuable, I think. Droplet too, especially if Draco Tail is the best deck, which it probably will be. I don't doubt the pros who say that. Droplet will be invaluable. It's good versus the VSK9 N board. Yeah, running, that's a great point. Bell is going to be a must, at least at 2, probably at 3. I would like to play more going first cards, but I think it's just unrealistic to do that. I've also bumped our Aramasa up because it was at 1. I think we will need to replace the starters. We are in a much more precarious spot. We could bump the Manju up to 3. I don't know if that's a great idea because the draw phase prayers is really nice, and if we bump the Aramasa, we can preserve the draw phase prayers. It also keeps our numbers of Mitsurugis up because don't forget, the fewer Mitsurugi cards you have to search, the fewer times you can revive, and that can really matter in grind, and Draco Tail is very strong in grind. It hits the traps, chaotic element, Arthalion. It's never going to hit Arthalion, though. They're always going to chain block it. So actually, for that reason, it also hits prayers, which is really good. Although it doesn't negate the activation, so if they have a second, they can prayers again, but still. I actually think versus Arthalion, that Imperm is a better card because it can't be chain blocked. It's also good into K9 because it doesn't activate your opponent's hand effects. So Bell is a really good shout. It kind of depends on how common they are. If it's all Draco Tail and Mitsurugi, I think Bell is the better pick. But if it's a more even spread, I think Imperm is really good. Especially Imperm on Razen. That's really nice. Imperm on Ripper is really good. If Draco Tail's the best deck, actually, do we even main the Droll? It hits Mitsurugi, but Mitsurugi is going to be less popular. I love Imperm into Arthalion. It puts them back so much. Yeah, it puts them back a lot of cards. It really removes the hand advantage, which weakens the 5 mana. So I wouldn't even hate, like, Chet, is Nib good into Draco Tail post new stuff? Does anybody know? I think that this is going to be a must with VS coming back, and I think VS will be coming back. So Perulia is going to be a have to run card. Evenly still seems like it's going to be good to me. I think that the decks don't deal with it well. Even if Draco Tail kind of plays from the hand mostly, losing the set cards they put down is a big setback. Nib is not good into Draco Tail at all, you say, Jam? I think talent won't be very good in the main. I would like to make room for Called By is the thing, because it's good versus Phimena. Yeah. And the reason I ask is I would like to do Imperm Nib. I really like that pairing of cards, but I don't doubt it that won't be good enough. I also like that Imperm, if you brick on it, you get kind of unlucky. You can just use 3 of them in one turn, which, while not ideal to draw, is a nice option, because if you brick on 3 Bell, you're really stuck with them. And Imperm also strengthens our Droplet. It's both good for breaking boards, because you can Imperm and then, of course, Droplet it away. And then it stops things like traps from being used, so your opponent can't then flame away your Droplet. I kind of like Bystials for the potential Edo lock with Branded getting support. Oh, that's interesting. Is that a Sanctifier combo? They give you the Edo off the Sanct. I could see Bystials. It depends on how common the Albion win condition is, but yeah, I could see that. I think Feather Duster is probably in. I think for going first, one of my locals testing friends said anti-spell being at 1 means you probably play it. If Draco Tail's good, this turns off their spells. They can chain stuff like Fallen and Virtuous, or like Opening, I guess. You know, the quick plays. How did Sanctifier survive? How did Sanctifier survive any ban list ever printed? This card is not okay. This card has never been okay. Expulsion is banned, right? Is that the one that... Yeah, Expulsion's banned for the same thing. Special summon stuff to your opponent's field that they don't want. So, yeah, I mean, that's actually a good... What else did we miss, chat? What do we think should have been here? I've only had it a few times, so like Droplet, Bell, Imperm, Bystial combo works nice into them trying to lock you. Droplet's really good at stopping Sanctifier as well. You can send away the thing they give you or stop the Sanct straight up. It's cool that Droplet's good into Draco Tail, not because you need to negate their monsters, but because it can send the spells they try to stop. I think that's really interesting. I love Droplet as a card. One of my favorite cards. I think Sanctifier should be banned. I don't think Sanctifier should be Branded's win con, especially with Branded becoming so interesting these days. It just doesn't need that, to be honest. I think Fiendsmith will still be good because Caesar is great into Draco Tail. Fusion spells, hate to see him. It is still also good into Droll, and Droll's at 2, so we're still going to be seeing it. It's not gone from the format. Are there any other starters we could run other than the Aramasa? I don't think so. I think our options are basically Aramasa, Manju. unless we want to play more of the ritual monsters. And with stuff like Sting, I could actually see doing something like that. Is it called Dracotail Sting? Yeah. Banish them, place, yeah. Like, it might not be the worst thing to have more copies of this card in rotation. The deck that I've been testing, the deck I've been testing for next format is Magistus Centurion. Centurion's a really cool deck, and it doesn't really lose to the mulches, which is really cool. I don't know Magistus Centurion, but that sounds really fun. Can we read Miracle Raven? Yeah, we can, because I don't know what that card does really, and that's a good point. I like John Smith still. We still be big. I don't know what this means. They forgot to put Deified to 1. Any aircraft lives on. Deified is an annoying card, but I think it's actually pretty fair. It's a continuous spell that doesn't do anything on its own, and while I think it's annoying, I think it's all right to be around. It's like the problem with Shifter isn't that some decks don't care about Shifter. It's that you can use it on your opponent's turn for 2 turns when they do care about Shifter. You can't out a Shifter because it's a lingering flood. So I see what you're saying, but they're not really the same. 2 Murukuma would be nice, makes up for a body loss in the rituals. It is bricky, is the thing. Murukuma is just a bricky card, but it pairs well with prayers, it pairs well with ritual, although we're only playing 2 rituals, so that might be either a good argument for Mura ritual or just to play the Aramasa like we're talking about. So we could even go like 3 ritual again, double Mura just for the threat potential, although I hate that because I only have 1 QCR Mura. Okay, Miracle Raven, sorry. So, Pendulum Effect. Once per turn during your main, you can ritual summon this card by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed 1. So this is just a way to tribute monsters. To be fair, all the other continuous floodgates except Macro is at 1. Macro is... To be fair, Macrocosmos isn't the same as Deifi. Macrocosmos says any card sent to grave is banished. Deifi says any monster sent to the graveyard is banished. So back row doesn't get banished, which is, I think, a meaningful distinction. My wife brought me pizza. Society if End of World Ruler was releasing this set. Okay, so Miracle Raven is just a way to tribute and to get searches off your if tributed effects of your Mitsu, so that's kind of interesting. By the way, I know I'm super late on reading this card, but it just wasn't needed. And then for the monster effect, you can ritual summon this card with Miracle Raven. Wait, what? Oh, okay, it's just allowing you to do the pendulum effect, basically. Must be ritual summoned. This ritual summoned card is unaffected by opponent's activated effects. If you ritual summon exactly 1 ritual monster with a card effect that requires use of monsters, this card you control can be used as the entire tribute. That doesn't work for Mitsus because they need reptiles, I'm pretty sure. If this card is tributed for ritual summon, add 1 ritual monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effective Miracle Raven once per turn. So, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. W-Wife, that is true. Thank you, Jam. We don't care about the monster effect at all. It's all about the once per turn during your main phase, ritual summon this card by tributing monsters from your hand or field, just to get your tributed effects and floating. If that's the case, it's just worse than running ritual, and you would only do it if you're running 3 ritual already, in my opinion. Another card we could look at is Ashland, which I didn't even realize, but 2 monsters with different types and attributes, which we can do because we have such a varied extra deck. If a ritual monster this card points to attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing. Okay, I didn't know that. That's actually really funny. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. Reveal 1 ritual from your hand. Add a ritual with a different type and attribute from your deck. If you ritual summon, you can target a face-up card, return it to the hand. So this card's good second or first, which is cool. You could even use this as an end board piece if you ran Magatama. Why is it unaffected? But I don't like Ashland because you already have to have a ritual monster in hand, and you have to run a brick. I know there is a ritual you can, like, search somehow. It's this guy, I think. He's a dark machine. I could be wrong. It might be a different one. I'm pretty sure it's him. I guess you could... Yeah, I don't know. I don't like Ashland. I don't think that seems good. I just wanted to bring it up because it's a card we could run. What are our thoughts on the Miracle Raven? I don't think it seems good, personally. I would rather play another ritual spell, a third ritual. Heart Opening Ritual 2 is just really, really strong. Wait, I missed it. How is Miracle Raven worse than Mitsurugi Ritual? Miracle Raven searches Habakiri? Miracle Raven searches Habakiri? How does Miracle Raven search Habakiri? It's the Earth Machine one. You search it off River Stormer in the Canine variant. Ah. Magic key. Ah, I see. But really, I guess the point is any ritual you can search to hand easily, you play, as long as it doesn't have the same type attribute. It searches if you use it for a ritual summon? Yeah, but how are you using it? I'm so confused. Does this card allow you to use non-reptiles for Mitsurugi Ritual? You also have to normal summon it to get that effect. It has to be this card you control. Is there a ritual you can Rhoda? I don't think so. You mean like, because there's also Rhoda would be a bad card to run. It's limited. So you wouldn't want to rely on that. That would be a bad line. It would have to be an extra deck search. That's the way I see it. Chat, what if we ran Plague Spreader so we could make Herald? Oh, wait. Oh, you can't normal this. It's a ritual. Sorry. Yeah. You're right. You're totally right. I don't know why I said that. I saw level 1. My bad. It's funny. I'm the best streamer. But yeah, I guess it sucks. Yeah, because I guess you ritual summon it using its effect. You trigger the effect of something. And then if you use this, it searches a guy. But I believe we can't use this because it's not a reptile. I could be wrong on that, though. I'm not a rulings guy. I didn't pass the judge exam with 95%. I think talent is bad versus Draco Tail, because if they have 5 mana and you talent, they just fuse away their whole hand. With Miracle Raven, you can scale it, then you can ritual itself from pen zone, then you contribute the small Mitsus from hand to trigger their searches. Yeah, right. I just think that seems bad. We can already kind of do that kind of combo with Naya. It's just more ways to do it, I guess, but we don't run them any small Mitsus anyway. I know you're not like arguing for it, you're just explaining how it's good. Miracle Raven plus Gravity Controller equals full Yummy combo. I mean, good for them. I guess that's sick. But I think Link 1s probably could have gone. I think Gravity Controller probably could have been banned just because Link 1s are a bad idea. I think it's possible we see a list like this, though. Preparation of Rites searches level 7 and lower, right? Abin level 7, yeah. There's a new card, right? Add 1 Fiend Ritual from your deck to your hand. Then if you add a depend monster, you can spec 1 Sacrificial Offering token. While you control that token, you got spec from the extra deck. When your ritual monster inflicts battle damage, or banish this, draw 1 card. That's pretty bad. Ban all of Sky Striker. Now this is something I can agree with. Pockleton, I like the way you think. Oh, that's cute. You can see pre-prep in the background, all the food he eats. I like that a lot. That's very cute continuity. Oh, and they're inside. Oh, that's where these guys are going, is into that place. That's cool. Sorry, I just noticed that. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the ban list. I think it's pretty good. I think it's possible we see a list like this for Mitsurugi. It depends on what the top decks are, but I think Imperm is going to be really good again, which is cool because Imperm's a fun card to play. I think Called By can move to the main. I know a lot of people are obviously playing it there already, but I'll probably swap the talent I've been on for it. Although, no, because Called By is good versus Izuna Lupus as well. Hey Rika, I did see End of the World Ruler. I don't think this card seems great for us, if I'm honest. But okay, let's talk about it. Crown might replace Imperm. That is true, but Crown's probably going to be $50 at least. So I won't have it for a while. So you can ritual summon this card with End of the World. That doesn't matter. Becomes Demise. Doesn't matter. You can use the following. You can use each of the following effects of this guy once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand, pay 2k, and banish one ritual spell from your deck. Apply the card's activation. The ritual summons a monster. You can pay 2k. Okay, it doesn't matter. So what's cool about this is this doesn't consume the use. So if you use End of the World Ruler to say summon from deck with Mitsurugi Ritual, and then you use the actual Mitsurugi Ritual spell card, you can still use the summon from deck ability. I don't think this is amazing because you would rather just play Mitsurugi Ritual probably. You can't actually use this dumb level 10 for anything else. He's a dark, so he doesn't even work as like an Ashland consistency bridge. I think if you're not playing 3 Mitsurugi Ritual, you don't play this guy because you just play more of that. If you're already playing 3 Mitsurugi Ritual and you want more, then you can, but I don't see it. Decks that can kill really easily through a guy that can't be destroyed by battle. Crown is only good in certain decks though. Oh, I see. What's kind of cool is you could go like, let's read this card. Apply these effects to one face-up monster until the end of turn. Negate its effects, cannot attack, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, unaffected by activated card effects except its own, cannot be tributed, cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link. Neither player can activate monster effects in response to this card. You can only activate one Forbidden Crown per turn. So we have Echidna. So if you Echidna something and then you crown it, it's actually stuck in attack mode, assuming it was in attack mode, with no attack. Because unaffected by activated card effects. I don't believe this is a passive at that point, so I don't believe the debuff goes away. It doesn't target? I'm pretty sure it does. Oh, it doesn't to one face-up monster. You're right. Hello, welcome. Konbanwa. But yeah, Crown is definitely a card I could see myself playing instead of Imperm. But the Crown doesn't work to stop the Arthalian value during your opponent's turn 1 when you haven't gone yet. And that is what the Imperm is kind of for. So I don't know that we play this. But I won't say it's not cool. It's really flexible. It's really good going first. I almost feel like it's better going first than going second. Getting to turn a monster off for the whole turn and clog up the space it's using is pretty sick. I don't see myself like sprinting to buy this card as a 3-of though. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. I don't think it does the same thing as a hand trap. It's more of a breaker, and it's kind of a weird breaker. Main Imperm, then side it for Crown going first. I don't even know if you would do that though. Crown and Imperm do kind of similar things. Something I could see being cool is using Crown to stop interactions, to like break up chain links. But I don't know. I think Crown Imperm side decking seems kind of whack. Imperm's also really good when you set it. It's got that column negate effect, which is amazing. I think our consistency will suffer, so we'll see if we run closer to 40 to make up for it. I think we probably will just run more replacements. Another Murakumo, maybe more Aramasa, maybe go up in Ritual. Switching out to the Imperm. I don't disagree. Yeah. Does anybody else have any other thoughts on the ban list? I think that's pretty interesting. I think that's kind of all there is to it for now until we start seeing what the pros and the good players start cooking up. I think Bell will see more play. Bell's already a popular card, obviously, but if Draco Tail's the best, we'll see. You also only have so much side deck room in your main, you know, so many swaps you can make. So it might be that I don't opt for the Bell and instead we focus on stuff like Evenly too. Although I don't know that you need to Evenly the current Draco Tail boards. We'll see if you do for the bigger ones. But I think this could be possibly what our deck looks like. I'm glad it's dropped now and not a week before regionals. Yeah, me too. That would have been brutal because now I have a couple weeks to test for it online. It goes live February 2nd. Are you considering going to the YCS on Valentine's Day? No, I won't be going to the YCS. I probably won't go to a YCS for the foreseeable future. My main goal is to attend NAWCQ Nationals. I went last year with my friends and it was a blast. I want to go again this year. I've already qualified. That was like the coolest event I've been to. But I am going to do a regional in February, so we'll get to test out the deck at the venue that I topped at last. So hopefully we can do it again. But short stream from me. I think that's a good place to call it for the night. I just wanted to talk about the ban list, go live, look at some cards, and just have fun and chat Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a very exciting day when we get a ban list. So thank you everybody for hanging out with me. If you're new, subscribe, join the Discord. We have a really great community, as you can see. Expect a deck list soon, maybe after the regional. We'll see. It depends on how confident I am going into it within the next couple weeks. Probably within 2 weeks of it, I will have a list I'm happy with, but by then, maybe it'll be better to just wait and see if I top. Question, are you allowed to go to a regional of a place you aren't from? I think so. I don't 100% know what that question means. Like, you could drive from any state to play in any other state's regional, if that's what you mean, Jam. There's no, like, state limit, at least. Like, you could play in a Texas regional, even if you're from, like, Washington. Drive across the country. Yeah. Thanks so much, everybody. Subscribe. My subscribers keep going down. It hurts my feelings. I'll see